All praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostle Elders in New York, GMS. Salutations to you, Yakaran world. Just teaching truth, putting your lives on the line for it. And shout out to you, serious Aqua. Hey, I'm bringing up with it. Talking about really serious. All right. My name is Maya, all up on Gatwick, Chicago branch of Great Millstone. All right. And this is part 2, Demoness Dakatiana. All right. And you know how she's scoffing about us, saying that, supposedly her people, because yesterday I said, do your father's paternal bloodline go back to a Iwalk man, or do it go back to a so-called Negro, or do it go back to a so-called white man? So I got blocked. She responded, I got blocked. So all right. So hey, that's all. Anytime you scoff, you ask them a question like that, you'll make them poof, make them disappear, man. But yeah, and when people like her and others, man, they gotta realize, in order to prove that your people are not the Israelites, you got to prove they do not fit the curses in Deuteronomy 28. You have to prove that they do not fit the curses in Leviticus chapter 26 and other prophecies in the Bible. When I talk about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, who follows paternal bloodline, go back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. A good example of that is those some of those actual Irish and Scottish slaves that came over here to America. Their father's paternal bloodline go back to the Israelites, so-called Negroes that ruled Europe during the Dark Ages. All right. So let's jump into it. She said, there's no proof that her people are the Israelites. Well, let's look into their language. All right. Let's look into their language. All right. Now, this is a history of, hope I get this, of Ephraim and Manasseh going to war with each other, and they Hebrews dialect different between the two tribes, man. All right, basically they gang banging on each other, man. See, it's nothing new under the sun, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9 through 11, man. All right, and it's happening today, man. I remember working years ago, around about 1997. I worked security at O'Hare Airport, and this Cuban, so-called Cuban woman, Vanessa Height woman. So you saying how much he hate, was it Manasseh, Puerto Rican? It was either one, but this way she said how much that she hated a so-called Puerto Rican, because the so-called Puerto Rican killed her brother. Ephraim might kill her brother, man. So there's nothing new under the sun, man. All right. You can see how difference is. Then said they unto him, say now Shibboleth. And he said Saboleth, for he could not frame it, pronounce it. Then they took him, slew him at the passage of Jordan. There fell the tab Ephraimite 40 and 2,000. So they were just going at it, man. All right. Same thing going Ephraim, between Ephraim, Issachar, Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, Issachar, so-called Mexicans. All right. So tribes always been warm each other, man, since. All right. Always been warm. So the reason I brought that up because of the languages, all right, which they can't, and this evidence they can't deny it, man. All right, and this is Jack D. Forrest, all right. This book I'm gonna use a little bit later when I bring some more articles out. All right, so let's look at a couple of Taino words. All right, that's right here. Baba. Baba is basically a dialect of Hebrew. Is Aramaic, a dialect Hebrew. It just means father. You could say Abba, father. Reverse of that. All right. So hey, you don't believe me? Well, okay. Let's look. Let's look at the video. All right. Look at right here. All right, I do not own this clip. Belongs to learning with children. Go ahead and show it. You can see it. Section 107, Kari provides statutory framework for a term where something is fair use and identify certain type uses such as criticism, comment, news report, teaching, scholarship, research. Example activities may qualify as fair use. All right, so how did Hebrew, matter of fact, I'll show you two of them. All right, this right, so here's a little girl. All right.
Hello, my name is Dakatiana. The title word of the day is Baba, which means daddy. Show it to your family.
Yep, you're gonna show the family 12 tribes of Israel. You know. All right, and yeah, Baba. All right, just a broken way saying Abba, Baba. All right, but Salat, that's just the Aramaic dialect of saying Abba. All right, Aramaic is basically a family of dialect of Hebrew. You see right there, parents, they have the fringes on there, on their blanket, man. All right. So so you got to ask your question: why is this? All right, and that's the thing, Jake. Don't be circumspect. Just ask, why is this? And they'll ponder to ask on what, why is this, and this and that. All right, so let's go right here. Go back to here. All right, let me see words sound with D sounds. And you can see right here, Daka I am, and then you got Daka Ababa, Daka Ababa, Ababa. I am Father. All right, so why these words are in their dialect? If they're not Hebrews, if the Awak or Tainos are not Hebrew Israelites or Israelites, all right, why do they have these Hebrew words in their dialect? Because they are Israelites. That's the reason why Christopher Columbus, he had Moorish and Sephardic Jews who were brown-skinned men, not black, brown skin. I mean, because nobody's black like the ink, like this fonts in the background, this site. All right, brown, come very shaded brown from dark chocolate brown, what they said Wesley Snipes brown, all the way up to like Jennifer Lopez, man. All right, Jeremiah chapter 12:9. My heritage is as unto me as a speckled bird. All right. So you gotta ask your question, why they have these Hebrew words in their dialect if they not Israelites? All right. The individual on the internet, she's like, oh man, I got this scientific evidence in my calculating and all this stuff. So you don't believe Esau, man who classified you as Siberians come out the Bering Strait, was there is no evidence. All right, because number one, you have to
the nigger was too stunned to speak.
Get this out of there. All right, go to Taino library. All right, and we're gonna go to show this again. All right, and we'll come up with another video, show the names of certain islands and stuff, the meaning of it, and line them up with the scripture. So I'm gonna show this again. Okay, I do not own that clip, belong to the Taino library. Do not own the music scores. I do not own the music scores on both of the videos. I do not own it. I don't make profit. I'm just using video clips for teaching reasons, which fall under fair use, section 107, copyright 1976, fair use, statutory framework. All right. So let's go to Taino library. All right. Watch this Taino word, so be it. Watch how similar it sounds to what Lashwakadash word.
Today we're going to discuss a word.
And that's why I brought up the scriptures in Judges 12:4, how Ephraim and Manasseh had to end up speaking different dialects, man. The same people. All right, watch this.
That was used by some indigenous Caribbean peoples as a way to express affirmation. The word was recorded as meaning yes in a book about different areas around the world.
Was it similar to Alman? All right. or you can like it's near similar to what Khan. All right. See, this is why Columbus brought those Israelites that were speaking Hebrew. Cause these people over here on this side of Western Hemisphere, they speaking Paleo Hebrew, or they speaking a broken form of Hebrew. This can't be no coincidence, man. All right. So it said, before you go to what? The Hebrew go to Blue Letter Bible. Amen. Ahan. Ahan. Amen. And just like I told you, Judge, when it said Shabboleth, he said Sibboleth. All right, so be it. All right, you confirm something truly, sure. What is yes? A way of saying sure, so be it, truth. All right. Let's look at another word, another name or word.
Written by Eberhard Werner Happels in 1687. The word Ahan.
All right, so we already established that. Watch this.
Today we're going.
I do not own this clip. All right.
Marika. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about the Taino Great Spirit Yaya. This is the spirit we're all connected to: humans, animals, plants, rocks, everything. Yaya is genderless, both male and female, but also
Now the Most High, he favors coming in the form of a man. That's what, like, he's a man. All right, even though he's in a sense he's not like us, but he's a supreme. How can I explain it? A supreme force, but he takes forms of a man. He likes being a form of man, so he's a man. All right, just put that point.
Point is that the Taino spirits, or Semi, who represent the feminine and masculine principle in Taino culture, would be Atabe and Yukahu. And I plan to do some more videos introducing.
All right, so the Most High for the hour walk, so is Yah, Yah, which means he. Yahweh, he is. Name Yahweh, he is. All right. This is this is no coincidence, man. All right, it's not a coincidence. It's something. It's the truth. These people, those indigenous people in the Caribbean, are the Israelites. All right, Yah, contraction of Yahweh, means same. Yah, all right, means saying, ain't no jock, there's no letter J back then. The sacred name, Yah, our Lord most vehemently compare, all right. See, people, man, you don't study, man. All right. So you gotta explain. People say you scoffers from the Northern Kingdom who pretend to be pro-native, and at the same time you been programmed, all right, to hate yourselves and hate your brothers from the Southern Kingdom. Also hate your brothers from the Northern Kingdom, dark skin, who started to find out that they are indigenous. All right, because Esau took the Northern Kingdom value. Those that was dark skinned got reclassified as Negroes. Those that was light skinned got reclassified as white or mestizo. And that's the now you got some that take it too far, and some Aboriginal movements they like to say that the light skinned Northern Kingdom are not indigenous America. That's incorrect, man. All right, every nation on this earth have people that range from Wesley Snipes to Richie Cunningham, very light skinned. I had to use that Opie looking, man. All right. as the old folks in the South say, old fay. Old fay. All right. But all right. So our people, they diverse, man. All right. And they don't have to be so-called mixed. You know, such thing mixed. You are the seed of your, whether you are the seed of your father, man. All right. That determines your nationality. No such thing as mixed, man. So, you know, so let's go right here to prophecies, what it says right here. Like I said, in order to disqualify yourself, talk to you people, you so-called you scoffers among the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, like, oh man, we ain't the Israelites, man. Oh man, I'm African. Oh man, I'm Native American. And African was named after a Africano, Scipio Africanus, a Edomite, so-called Roman. All right. And when you say you Native American, you say you native of the corporation called America. You basically say you part of a company, man. All right. Well, here this is Deuteronomy chapter 24. Salah, not 24. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45 and 46. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee, overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to keep his commandments, statute which command thee. And they should be unto thee a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. So the curses, all right, the prophecy of the curses shall be sign of what? Who are the children of Israel? Because those 40 years over there in the Levant, they not finna curses. They're not finna curses. So they not finna the prophecy of Isaiah chapter 2 and Micah chapter 4, which say when the children of Israel should be in that land, there should be peace. And there should be no trouble. And it's been trouble ever since those people first arrived, man. And what the Egyptian president, the Egyptian president told me, said, hey, you left here black and you came back white. Basically just telling them, hey, we know you're not the real Israelites. Anyway, and whereas you got, they always claim to be the Jews, because the real Jews, so-called Negroes, all right? And that's just one tribe or one kingdom, because you had Judah, Benjamin, Levi. But what happened to Ephraim? How come there's nobody among them representing the tribe of Ephraim? Ephraim's a leader amongst the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom. So you people, you don't think, man. All right, and that's why Yahweh Shai called you the congregation of the dead. All right, you just the light's not turned on up there, you know. All right, so all right, so the curse is gonna fall upon the children of Israel. Now, in the Hebrew nation says Psalms 147, verse 19. They said his law, statutes, commandments given on to Jacob, and he didn't deal with so many other nations. All right, so whoever the curses, whoever history lined up with the prophecy curses, Deuteronomy 20, Leviticus 26, those people are the children of Israel. And regards what they look like. All right, because Esau didn't give a damn whether you was light bright with straight hair or you was Charles Broil with steel wool hair, man. If you were Israelite, man, you'll get the chains clamped around your neck, your wrists and your ankles, and you're gonna get on that ship, or they make you stay on the land and work you to death alongside with your northern kingdom, southern kingdom brethren, and had their way with your women. And you see that in the movie. You see that many times in the movie in the series Roots. All right. Roots. What's another movie? Roots, and I'm trying to think of something else. All right. Oh, The Butler. When Mariah Carey's up in there, they Edomite shot Forrest Whitaker, the character Forrest Whitaker playing, they shot his father for standing up for himself to keep him off his wife. You know. So let's go right here. So I wrote that up because about to read this man book right here. All right. This Jack D. Force, man, the guy, so-called Native American. I brought him right here because you got a lot of Northern Kingdom who got a hatred for the darker skin Northern Kingdom. You got a hatred for the Southern Kingdom, Judah. Because Esau indoctrinated with that self-hate during slavery and colonization times, man. This guy got some boo-boo, so I'm just showing that. So, Jake like to accuse you of being Afrocentric. That's what people get mad when Esau and the 2/3 get mad when you point fast out, you bring out fast. They can't refute, they'll run to the Afrocentric defense. Which we can't, in the hell we could be Afrocentric. All right, because our teachers not centered around the nation of Ham, Africans. Our teachers centered around Israel, was people of Shemitic descent. And you go to the Zonovan Bible dictionary, they tell you Ham, the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Dark races are the Hamites. All right, so that West African script, that West African, you from West Africa, and then you Sub-Saharan Africa, man, all that's played out, man. That's played out. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go through this book. All right, so I'm going to read this. Deuteronomy 28:6. It said, Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way I spake unto thee. All right, because the first captivity was in the physical Egypt over there in Africa. It's dope for it's talking about America, spiritual Egypt. You read Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And it's all talking about captivity. Again with ships. They're talking about all 12 tribes, not just 3. They treated, because they say Esau and the 2/3 like to say, oh, that happened when the Romans had destroyed Jerusalem 7 AD. No, those 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All right, when Yahweh applied these curses, Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26, he's talking to all 12 tribes. All right, so all 12 tribes didn't go into captivity in 70 AD. You get the hell on with that. All right, it says right here, by the way I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, no man shall buy you. What sold me, Most High gave you up. Why? Because we violated as a nation. We violate the law, statutes, commandments. He gave us up unto our enemies. Who are enemies? Esau, so-called Europeans. All right, we got Ishmael, so-called Aaron. The rest of them is listed in Psalms chapter verse 83. Unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, they're slaves on the slave auction block, and no man shall buy, nobody shall redeem us. Now, it's some translation, the scoffers, they like to say, oh, they say they should sell themselves. See, they sold themselves too. No, man. Like they literally sell themselves as slaves. All right. It's not talking about that, man. Where is that? Let's see. Bill. Cut that right there. I'll show you what it really sell means. The Most High, we violate his laws, statutes, commandments. All right, let's see. That and hold on. Where's that bill? Yeah, here right here. Thus say Yahweh, where's the bill of your mother's divorcement, whom I put away, or which of my credit is to whom I had sold to? Behold, for your iniquities have ye sold yourselves, for your transgression is your mother put away. All right, for our niggas you had sold. So that's what it means. You sold unto your enemies, man. All right, the Most High gave us up. Why? Because we violate his laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. So I read Deuteronomy 26. They should go on ships. I forget the example. They went on ships. Ephraim, people of Puerto Rico and the rest of the islands. Manasseh is Cuba, and Simeon is the Dominican Republic. All right, and the so-called Negroes that arrived to the Dominican Republic, that's Judah. All right, so what about the Afro-Latinos? It depends. Some of them, they either Judah that came off the boats, or they the darker skinned counterparts of the Northern Kingdom. Ephraim, the rest of them, man. Like I said, Esau, he reclassified some of the dark-skinned Northern Kingdom. All right, so this is page 24 in Jack D. Ford's book, and that's what I read Deuteronomy 20:68. All right, this is 24. It's the book Africans and Native Americans said in any case, at least 3,000 Americans are known to have been shipped to Europe between 1493 and 1501, with likely total being possible double that. Europe between 1493 and 1501, with likely total being possible double that. Most were sent to Seville, the area where they seemed to show up in the slave markets as Negroes without a place of origin being mentioned, right? Because the Tainos, all right, some of them before the admixture, some of them because some was naturally light skinned, because in the book African Presence in America, um, it's one of the pages in there. They said the witness, the Edomite witness from Spain said he witnessed light skinned Ephraimites and very dark skinned Negro looking Ephraimites fighting side by side each other, man. All right. So anyway, a lot of them was very dark skinned, all right, Negro looking, and that's the reason why some of these the fake pro native Northern Kingdom so called natives, all right, are upset, man, because they can't accept the fact that their forefathers were very dark skinned. All right, because you have to remember Esau programmed Jake to hate themselves, man. All right, just think about the Willie Lynch letter, all right, which is a mind control program. Nobody named Willie Lynch. All right, light versus dark skin, straight hair versus coarse hair, short versus tall. All right, divisive tactics by Esau, man. Let's go back to ancient Rome. All right, it said world population approximately 400 million of this page 25, 80 million inhabit the Americas. By the middle of the 16th century, out of 80 million, there remained 10. If the word genocide had ever been applied to a situation with some accuracy, this is here the case. But the tens of millions of Americans who disappeared in 1492 did not all die. In the Holocaust inflicted America, many thousands were sent to Europe, Africa, where their descendants still live today. And that's one of the reasons why we had the 12 tribes sign, because our people are scattered. Our people are scattered around the world. All right. It's right here, same book, 49. All right. The Carib Ephraim says the Dutch expansion in the 17th century also served accelerate American African to the continent between Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom. Right. Elsewhere, from 1590 on, Dutch warships frequently captured Spanish and Portuguese vessels, many of which loaded with slaves possessed crews of non-white race. All right, you know, white you're ready. So it says some of these slaves were taken to Europe, while others were sold to the English in Virginia or were sent to the Dutch ports in America's New Amsterdam. For example, we know that some of the captives were persons with Spanish Christian names, were not new slaves from Africa. In fact, some of those around Virginia was Carib people, Ephraim, in Virginia, man. All right, which proved Deuteronomy 2, you people, you black on the Israelites, you like to say, well, how come they don't fit Deuteronomy 20? See, here go right here. Being brought to spiritual Egypt, man. All right, let's see. What do you say? Yeah, already told me what it is. Oh, it's a cut, man. It's a cut for everybody. You scoff from the Northern Kingdom, say you not Israelites, you got nothing to do with the Bible. Until you black on the Israelites, man. All right. Also, you Latino on the Israelites, you like to accuse the dark skinned Northern Kingdom of probing the culture when they show the evidence that they are from the Northern Kingdom. They paternal bloodline go back to indigenous men of Americas. All right, it says right here, Deuteronomy 26, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Had that Carib that Ephraim came in on the ship in Virginia, man. All right, so it's right here. Page 51, it said the friendly tribes, especially the Caribs, continue to supply the Dutch with American slaves until into the mid 19th century. Wow, man. All right. It says right here, what, Deuteronomy 28:54, so that the man that's tender among you, very delicate, is actually evil towards his brother, toward the wife of his bosom, toward a man his children. So, like I say, Ephraim's selling their own people, man. To Esau, the same thing Judah, so-called Negroes, selling their own people. It turncoats. Gad was beating up the other Gadite tribes, so-called Native American tribes, and selling them to Esau, man. All right. That's how you know the people of the book, man. The prophet said he curses, man. All right, let me see. All right, it says right here, page 53, reading the bottom. As the years went by, the French became involved in American slavery in Canada, Mississippi Valley, Louisiana, and Caribbean. In North America, South America, slaves called Paducas 1720s and panties became quite common as possible. It says right here, in the Caribbean. All right. It says right here, page 54. Reached France, right? It says in 1747, a Spanish slave was sent from Canada to Martinique, all right? I don't know over there, the people, the so-called Negroes came to there. Is Benjamin, and the addition people over there is Ephraim. While in 1732, a career of slaves was taken to Canada. So you got Ephraim here in America and Virginia. And guess what? The Ephraimite popped that so-called Negro woman. They had babies and stuff. They got Ephraim on Judah. You had Ephraim on Judah and Gad in Canada. You got Ephraim scattered over there in the little islands off of Africa, West Africa. Wherever they scatter, man, people. Oh, you got Ephraim over there in Spain, man. All right, it says right here, it says in the French West Indies, plantation economy began to develop, and there, as noted, one finds Brazil as Asher and our slaves. By the 1650, Louisiana, the enslavement of America was quite common from the very beginning of the colony, with the Chickamauga people being a special target, but also with the slaves being brought in from Mississippi Valley. All right, so the Gadites. It says in the early 1700s, the French are known to have been interested in changing American slaves for Africa. So they slain the Northern Kingdom slaves for the Southern Kingdom slaves from Haiti. All right, that's how you got a lot of Benjamites well, Haiti is Levites, but also you got Benjamites over there in the South because of this. In other counties, it says some were actually traded. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. Some were actually traded for supplies. Joel chapter 3. It says in the late 1720s, meaning Natchez people talking about was sent the slaves to Haiti. All right, so imagine they go there and the Gadites go there and they pop some Levite women. So yeah, Gadites among so-called Haitians, man. Right, and this is the history, man. Right, but Esau, as the brother Malcolm pointed out, his false narrative, he'll tell you that none of this stuff never happened. You know, it's just a coincidence that the so-called Negroes got knocked upside the head and brought here on slave chains, and Esau just came over here and beat the hell out of the Northern Kingdom, so-called indigenous people in America, and that's just it. No, man, it happened like that. They knew who the children of Israel was. All right, they knew who they are because they had the records. All right, they enslaved them. They changed their names. They enslaved the so-called Negroes, sent them over here to America, and they came. While they did that, they took the so-called Indians, the Northern Kingdom. All right, enslaved them on here in Americas, and then they enslaved their brethren and shipped them to the other side of the world. All right, and they erased their names, their nationality Israel. All right, lied to them they was two different people when they wasn't. They're the same people. All right. Let's see right here. All right. Let's go and jump to scripture. Jump to it, dumb handed. It says right here, Psalms 83, for they had taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulting against thy hidden. Who's thy people, thy hidden one? There's like, who taking crafty counsel of these nations? Starting with Edom, right? So-called European, so-called white man. All right, so, with that, man, I hope you all been edified, and shalom.